Caitlin Clark has stated that newly appointed Indiana Fever coach Stephanie White always had the best scouts against us, and she now hopes the team will benefit from her extensive tactical knowledge. Indiana officially introduced White as their new head coach on Monday after Christy Sides was dismissed from her duties on October 27. White, 47, was a high school star in Indiana and played for the Fever from 2000 to 2004. She subsequently served as the assistant coach for the Fever under Lynn Dunn, contributing to the franchise's victory in the WNBA in 2012, before assuming the role of head coach from 2015 to 2016. White achieved 2 successful years as the head coach of the Connecticut Sun, earning the WNBA Coach of the Year award in 2023 and subsequently eliminating the Clark-led Fever in the first round of the 2024 WNBA playoffs. White will now collaborate with 2024 Rookie of the Year Clark, regarded as the league's most outstanding talent, to establish a powerful partnership for the upcoming season. Point guard Clark, along with teammates Aaliyah Boston and Lexi Hull, posed with their new head coach during Monday's unveiling. The 22-year-old standout expressed her strong support for White by emphasizing the thorough preparation she provided to Connecticut for their games against Indiana earlier this year. Clark expressed her enthusiasm about playing under the new head coach, anticipating that she will apply the same insights Clark previously leveraged against the players to enhance the team's performance. Clark stated, "We recognize her legendary status in Indiana. I find that really impressive," he remarked, adding, "In matches against her, it seemed that her teams always had the most astute scouts analyzing us. This reflects her understanding of the game and her analytical abilities, indicating that she was clearly onto something. Hopefully, now that she understands how to counter our strategies, this insight will also aid in overcoming specific challenges." White, meanwhile, expressed her enthusiasm about collaborating with 2 former Rookies of the Year, Boston and Clark. She stated, "You have the point guard and the center, you have the foundational players you want to build around. These 2, Clark and Boston, are the best. They are currently excelling in numerous areas. You observe the progress made from the start to the end of the season and how significantly the players improved together. More than half of the WNBA is undergoing coaching changes this offseason, with 7 of the league's 13 teams separating from their head coaches from the 2024 season, while the Golden State Valkyries are entering the league with a new coach as an expansion franchise. Among the teams that dismissed their coach after the season was the Indiana Fever, who parted ways with Christy Sides following a second-half surge that secured a playoff spot, culminating in a first-round loss. The Fever is expected to be a highly sought-after position, as it offers the chance to coach the last 2 Rookie of the Year winners, Caitlin Clark and Aaliyah Boston. On Monday, the team officially announced Stephanie White as their head coach, following her departure from the Connecticut Sun to return to Indiana and take the Fever position for the second time in her career. In this instance, White assumes control of a talented roster, and during her introductory press conference, she expressed her conviction that Clark and Boston had the potential to become the best guard-big tandem in WNBA history. At White's introductory press conference, the duo spoke with ESPN's Michael Voepel about their enthusiasm for playing under White. Clark noted that the meticulous strategy the Sun consistently employed against the Fever gives her confidence that White can swiftly address some of their weaknesses. "We know how much of a legend she is in Indiana," Clark stated on Monday. "I find that to be quite impressive. In my experience competing against her, it seemed that her teams consistently had the most effective scouts observing our gameplay. This highlights her deep understanding of the game and her analytical skills, indicating that she clearly identified something important. Now that she knows how to stop us, it should also provide her with insights on how to help us overcome certain challenges." Boston added, "There's nothing better than playing for a coach who is clearly dedicated to our development. She recognizes the talent we possess, and I am extremely eager to get onto the court. You can sense the intensity already." White will have the next 6 months to assess the situation and pinpoint areas for improvement for 2025, as expectations for Indiana are set to rise. At a minimum, White believes her young star duo is only beginning to realize their potential, and if Clark and Boston can progress together in 2025, Indiana will have the opportunity to become a genuine contender against the WNBA's top 4. The Indiana Fever reached a significant milestone for the organization on Monday when they officially announced Stephanie White as the team's new head coach. Caitlin Clark, Aaliyah Boston, and Lexi Hull were all present to show their support for their new coach as they prepare for 2025. One notable star player who was missing from the major event was 2-time All-Star Kelsey Mitchell. Numerous fans were left wondering about her absence, given that the 28-year-old is one of the key players on the roster. Mitchell's upcoming status as an unrestricted free agent, allowing her the option to leave Indiana this offseason, has made her absence even more compelling for certain supporters. There is a valid reason for Mitchell's absence. The reality is that the 5'8" guard is currently halfway across the globe. Mitchell is currently in China, where she has signed a contract with the Shanxi Flame of the Women's Chinese Basketball Association, WCBA. Mitchell's off-season departure is not unusual. Several WNBA players are currently overseas playing for various teams during the league's break. The Shanxi Flame, in particular, have previously signed prominent players such as Maya Moore and Alyssa Thomas, among others. Mitchell has experience playing overseas, having previously spent time in Egypt, Israel, and Spain, so this is not a new endeavor for the former Ohio State star. Mitchell was recently featured in a video shared on social media with her fellow teammates Liu Yutong and WNBA player Olivia Nelson-Ododa of the Connecticut Sun. Caitlin Clark's inspiring meeting with basketball legend Maya Moore significantly impacted her life. As a burgeoning talent in women's basketball, the Indiana Fever guard made headlines as a record-breaking player for Iowa during her collegiate career. The 22-year-old currently holds the title of NCAA Division I's all-time leading scorer and has been recognized twice as the National Player of the Year during his time with the Hawkeyes. Her transition into the WNBA this year has allowed her to continue excelling, positioning her for a remarkable career in the league. Despite the fame and attention Clark has garnered for women's basketball, she credits one specific player with igniting her passion for the game. In 2012, at the age of 10, Clark traveled with her family to Minneapolis to watch Moore play for the Minnesota Lynx against the Seattle Storm, a pivotal experience that positively impacted her young life. Moore can be viewed as a precursor to Clark in terms of skill, demonstrating exceptional passing, shooting, and dribbling abilities that led her to 2 undefeated college seasons, 4 Final Four appearances, and 2 national championships with UConn. Following her collegiate achievements, Moore joined the Minnesota Lynx and began an extraordinary career, winning 4 WNBA championships, multiple MVP awards, and securing 2 Olympic gold medals with USA Basketball in 2012 and 2016. The significant meeting between Moore and Clark occurred when the young fan from Iowa traveled 3 hours from Des Moines to Minneapolis to observe the Hall of Famer's skills on the court. According to The Athletic, Clark rushed towards Moore and hugged her, signifying a moment that transformed her life for the better. The 22-year-old stated, "I didn't have a phone, I didn't have a Sharpie, I just gave her a hug and ran away. And she embraced me in return. It's something that has resonated with me. One interaction can change someone's life." Since then, Clark has emerged as a sensation in the WNBA, having an impressive first season with the Fever. Both Clark and her fans will always appreciate her youthful courage in embracing Moore with a hug in 2012. Caitlin Clark's 10-second interaction with women's basketball icon Maya Moore is one she asserts changed her life. The Indiana Fever guard has established herself as one of the sport's rising talents, gaining recognition as a record breaker for the Iowa Hawkeyes during her collegiate career. The 22-year-old is the NCAA Division I all-time leading scorer and a 2-time National Player of the Year with the Hawkeyes, and she has carried her success into her WNBA career this year. However, despite the unparalleled popularity that the Rookie of the Year has brought to women's basketball, there is one player she acknowledges for igniting her passion for the game. In 2012, a 10-year-old Clark traveled with her family to Minneapolis to watch Moore compete for the Minnesota Lynx against the Seattle Storm, a moment that profoundly impacted her young life. Moore can be seen as an earlier version of Clark in the sport, demonstrating exceptional passing, shooting, and dribbling skills that led her to achieve 2 undefeated seasons, 4 Final Four appearances, and 2 national championships with her college team, UConn. Following this success, she joined the Minnesota Lynx and enjoyed a remarkable career, winning 4 WNBA championships, multiple MVP titles, and 2 Olympic gold medals with USA Basketball in 2012 and 2016. Moore's encounter with Clark occurred when the Iowa-born fan traveled 3 hours from Des Moines to Minneapolis to witness the Hall of Famer play in a WNBA game. The Hawkeyes will benefit from the return of Sydney Affolter, who has recovered from off-season knee surgery, prompting a response from NCAA legend and former Iowa teammate Caitlin Clark. Affolter underwent a surgical scope on her knee last month and is set to play for the Hawkeyes again this month. The senior guard, 21, assigned to fill Clark's position in Iowa, who was the first overall pick in the WNBA draft by the Indiana Fever, shared an update on social media, announcing that she will return to the court soon. "Let's go, kid. Your year," Clark responded to Affolter on Instagram. Affolter was a member of the Iowa team that reached consecutive national championship games in the past 2 seasons alongside Clark. Her return will provide a significant boost to the Hawkeyes, who utilized Affolter a career-high 39 times last season. After averaging 8.4 points and 6. 4 rebounds per game, Affolter was named to the Big Ten's All-Tournament team and the Albany II All-Regional team. Affolter has assumed a leadership position in the Iowa locker room. I believe that with a young and relatively inexperienced team, having a veteran leader is crucial, someone who has been immersed in the offense for 3 years and understands the intricacies of Iowa women's basketball, she stated recently. I consistently held myself to that standard, regardless of whether I was playing or not, and it has certainly been challenging. I would much prefer to be leading on the court rather than on the sidelines. However, I believe everyone is adapting well, and we are making significant progress. It has not been difficult, and I believe having a leader who can unify everyone around a single voice is crucial. We observed that frequently with Kate last year. Clearly, there were many other leaders who contributed, but I believe Kate was the primary voice, which is crucial for a team and can significantly influence its chemistry. Iowa head coach Lisa Bluder has identified Affolter as one of the Hawkeyes' essential components for success. Indeed, you cannot discuss this year without mentioning Hannah Stulk, Bluder stated. What a remarkable opportunity she has as a junior. Senior Sydney Affolter truly came into her own last year, earning a spot on the All-Big Ten tournament team during our championship win and performing exceptionally well. Caitlin Clark has secured another significant lucrative opportunity as she is set to be the special guest for a public conversation with David Letterman. The WNBA superstar has been exceptionally busy during her first off-season as a professional, honing her golf skills, attending a Taylor Swift concert, and promoting her latest range of basketballs through her endorsement with Wilson. It has been an eventful year for the 22-year-old, who has just completed an outstanding breakthrough season with the Indiana Fever, during which she broke several all-time league records and received the Rookie of the Year award. Now, Clark has agreed to participate in a conversation with the legendary late-night TV host David Letterman at Ball State University in Muncie, Indiana. This event is part of a professional lecture and workshop series, and University President Jeffrey Mearns has described it as a very special occasion. David Letterman is the most renowned graduate of our university. He is a native Hoosier and a national icon, and Caitlin Clark has rapidly emerged as a beloved Hoosier and national star, Mearns stated in a press release. I expect their conversation will be quite meaningful. On behalf of Ball State, we are honored to host them. The event will take place on Monday, December 2nd, and is anticipated to be a significant revenue generator for Clark, who reportedly already receives a $100,000 fee for virtual speaking engagements. Given this, it can be presumed that her in-person fee is even more impressive. However, this will merely be the latest significant amount that the talented point guard receives as part of her flourishing career both on and off the court, having already amassed a substantial net worth despite reportedly earning a modest annual salary of $76,535, £58,949, through her initial rookie contract. WNBA sensation Caitlin Clark has been a refreshing addition to the Indiana Fever, and it appears her new coach, Stephanie White, will bring a similar energy. Clark, 22, is currently the most exciting player in women's basketball following her impressive debut season with the Fever, during which she earned the Rookie of the Year award. However, Clark's brilliance was insufficient to secure the team's first WNBA title since 2012, as they were eliminated in the first round of the playoffs by the Connecticut Sun. Last month, the Fever parted ways with head coach Christy Sides and this week announced former Connecticut coach White, 47, as her replacement. In response to the news, NBC Sports analyst Terica Foster-Brasby expressed her expectation that White will make an immediate impact, both on and off the court. Fever fans are known for their negativity, and Brasby believes that this perception may shift with White leading the team. She will absolutely not tolerate any negativity linked to Fever fans, Brasby stated on her territory. And we understand that not all fans are like this, but there are specific individuals who exploit the Fever name to express views that contradict the values upheld by the WNBA. Stephanie White consistently expresses her views on such matters, and she will not tolerate any deviation from this stance. She will never tolerate it. Brasby also encouraged the Indiana native to instill some optimism within the Fever locker room. From an off-the-court perspective, I believe the culture will indeed shift, she stated. I did not consistently cover Indiana to ascertain whether there is a negative culture, but White embodies a culture of winning, confidence, and awareness of public perception. From a performance perspective, Brasby anticipates that Indiana will develop a much stronger defensive presence. I know one thing, Steph White favors a quick, fast-paced offense, she continued. It was challenging to accomplish that in Connecticut, as they had an older team. This is a significantly younger team, so that offensive style should be effectively implemented here. The other point we highlight regarding Connecticut is their dedication to defense. That defensive presence was crucial to their success. This indicates that the Fever team must commit to improving their defensive strength, regardless of our admiration for Caitlin Clark, which we should express. We also need to acknowledge that their defense was not the strongest aspect of this Fever team, particularly concerning Caitlin Clark. That is where I believe Steph will have an immediate impact. She will establish a framework to which everyone must be dedicated.